Have you ever looked up at the stars and felt a strange sense of unreality? Like maybe all of this, the stars, the planets, you, me, is just part of an incredibly advanced computer program? It sounds like science fiction, right? Something straight out of The Matrix. But what if I told you that some of the brightest minds on our planet are seriously considering this very idea? This is the simulation hypothesis, and today we're going deep down the rabbit hole. The idea isn't new. Philosophers have been questioning the nature of reality for centuries. Plato had his allegory of the cave, suggesting we might only be seeing shadows of a truer reality. But in the digital age, this ancient question has taken on a new, high-tech form. In 2003, a philosopher named Nick Bostrom from Oxford University published a groundbreaking paper. He didn't say, "We are in a simulation." Instead, he presented a powerful argument, a kind of logical trilemma that leads to a startling conclusion. Bostrom's argument goes like this. One of three things must be true. First, it's possible that any civilization advanced enough to create a realistic simulation of the universe would likely destroy itself before reaching that point. Think about it. Climate change, nuclear war, pandemics. There are many great filters that could stop a civilization in its tracks. If this is the case, then nobody ever gets to the point of creating ancestor simulations. The second possibility is that advanced civilizations simply lose interest. Maybe once a society becomes super intelligent, they have better things to do than run simulations of their primitive past. Perhaps they're exploring other dimensions, merging with cosmic consciousness, or doing things we can't even imagine. If they're not interested, then again, no simulations get made. But then there's the third possibility. What if civilizations don't all destroy themselves, and what if they are interested in running these simulations? If a civilization reaches a point where they have immense computing power, they could run not just one, but billions, maybe even trillions of ancestor simulations. They might do it for scientific research, to understand their history, or maybe just for entertainment, like a hyper-realistic video game. Now, here's the crucial part. If this third possibility is true, and countless simulations are being run, then the number of simulated realities would vastly outnumber the one single base reality. So if you were to pick a conscious being at random from all the conscious beings that exist, both real and simulated, the odds would be overwhelming that you'd pick a simulated one. Statistically speaking, it becomes almost a certainty that we are among the simulated, not the original creators. This is the core of Bostrom's argument. He isn't giving us proof, but a statistical probability. It forces us to confront the idea that unless civilizations always fail or lose interest, we are almost certainly living inside a computer program. So, is there any evidence? Well, this is where things get really fascinating. Some physicists have started looking for glitches in the matrix, so to speak. If our universe is a simulation, it must be running on some kind of computational grid. Just like the pixels on your screen, reality might not be smooth and continuous at the smallest scales. It might be made of discrete units, a fundamental pixel of space and time. This is an idea from a field called quantum gravity, and the smallest possible unit of length is known as the Planck length. If we could ever probe reality at that tiny scale and find that it's pixelated, that would be compelling evidence for the simulation theory. Another potential clue comes from the laws of physics themselves. Have you ever noticed how the universe seems to be governed by mathematical rules? Gravity, electromagnetism, the speed of light, they all follow precise equations. It's almost as if the universe is running on a kind of operating system with a set of pre-programmed laws. The speed of light, for example, acts as a universal speed limit. Nothing can travel faster. In a computer simulation, having a maximum processing speed for information transfer makes perfect sense. It prevents the system from being overwhelmed. Could the speed of light be the processor speed of our simulated universe? Then there's the weirdness of quantum mechanics, particles that can be in multiple places at once until they are observed. Particles that are mysteriously linked across vast distances, a phenomenon Einstein called spooky action at a distance. This all sounds a lot like how a video game might render its world. A game doesn't render every detail of the entire map all the time. It only renders what the player is looking at. When you turn around, the game quickly generates the scene behind you. Could it be that the act of observation in quantum mechanics is our consciousness requesting the simulation to render a specific state? Before we look, a particle exists only as a wave of probabilities. When we observe it, the simulation solidifies it into a definite state. Thinkers like Elon Musk are famously on board with this idea. He said that the odds we're in base reality are 1 in billions. His reasoning is simple. Look at the progress of video games in just a few decades. We went from Pong to photorealistic, immersive, virtual reality worlds. Given that rate of progress, imagine what games will be like in 1,000 years or 1,000,000. They will be indistinguishable from reality. If that's the trajectory, it's almost inevitable that someone somewhere will create them. And if they do, we're probably in one. But let's play devil's advocate for a moment. What are the arguments against the simulation hypothesis? For one, the idea is currently untestable. We can't just type a command code into the sky and see what happens. Without a way to test it, it remains in the realm of philosophy, not hard science. It's an interesting thought experiment, but not a scientific theory in the traditional sense. Another major objection is the "who simulates the simulators" problem. If we are in a simulation created by an advanced civilization, couldn't that civilization also be in a simulation created by an even more advanced one? It leads to an infinite regress. Simulations all the way down. Where does it end? There has to be a base reality somewhere, a foundation upon which all the simulations are built, but this doesn't help us know where we are in that stack. Furthermore, some argue that the glitches we might look for could just be features of our universe that we don't understand yet. Just because quantum mechanics is weird doesn't mean it's code. It might just mean our understanding of physics is incomplete. Attributing something we don't understand to a simulation can be seen as a modern version of the God of the Gaps argument, where we use a divine explanation for things science hasn't yet figured out. And what about consciousness? How could a simulation create the genuine feeling of subjective experience, the taste of chocolate, the feeling of love, the pain of loss? This is the hard problem of consciousness, and it's a mystery whether we're in a simulation or not. Could code and algorithms truly replicate the richness of our inner lives? We simply don't know. So, where does this leave us? We're faced with a mind-bending possibility that challenges our most fundamental assumptions about existence. On one hand, the statistical argument is powerful. The clues from physics are tantalizing. On the other hand, the lack of testable evidence and the philosophical hurdles are significant. But let's assume for a moment that it's true. Let's say we wake up tomorrow and there's definitive proof we are living in a simulation. What would change? Would life lose its meaning? I don't think so. Your experiences, your relationships, your joys and sorrows, they are still real to you. The love you feel for your family isn't any less real just because it might be generated by code. The beauty of a sunset is no less breathtaking. In a way, it could even be liberating. It might encourage us to live more boldly, to be more creative, to explore the boundaries of this reality. If this is a game, why not try to play it well? Why not try to level up, to be a good person, to make the game better for the other players? Maybe the goal of the simulation is to see how we handle the challenges, how we grow, and how we treat each other. The simulation hypothesis is one of the most profound and unsettling ideas of our time. It sits at the intersection of physics, philosophy, and computer science. It forces us to ask the ultimate question: what is reality? We don't have the answer yet. We may never have it. But the search for that answer is one of the most exciting adventures we can embark on. The universe, whether real or simulated, is an incredible mystery. And maybe, just maybe, the point isn't to solve it, but to marvel at it. What do you think? Are we lines of code in a cosmic computer, or are we the architects of our own reality? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the nature of reality, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more mind-bending content. See you in the next one.